Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how do we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the eCommerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart, Mroz, and John Suder. The eCommerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's eCommerce Minute episode 632.
In today's episode, rent a runway to pilot sales program at Nordstrom Rack.
Rent the Runway has been through quite the journey in the past year. Back in June, Nordstrom and Rent the Runway teamed up for order pickup and return and other services in 4 Los Angeles Nordstrom locations. By November, there were drop-off locations at 29 Nordstrom and Nordstrom local locations. Now the companies are expanding their partnership. Rent the Runway has piloted a new program with Nordstrom Rack, bringing some of its gently worn, ready-to-wear products to a number of the off-price chain stores. Dubbed Rent the Runway Revive, try to say that 3 times fast, the service is available in 24 locations for a limited time and gives shoppers access to discounted designer items starting at just $28. To assist with the partnership, trained stylists will be available at those Nordstrom locations to work with the Rent the Runway members to, quote, build out their ideal closet with a mix of rented and owned items from RTR and Nordstrom. When the companies expanded in November, Nordstrom also became a RTR platform partner, meaning that it contributes inventory to Rent the Runway's rental ecosystem. The companies also said they were considering developing exclusive products together that could be either bought or rented. This latest move looks like a step in that direction, and it gives Rent the Runway a powerful off-price outlet to sell its older inventory. All of this while possibly giving Nordstrom Rack a small boost of foot traffic, and that could work well for both companies. It's also important to note that Rent the Runway only has 5 physical locations at the time, and Nordstrom has more than 300. If Rent the Runway and Nordstrom continue strengthening their relationship, it could give Rent the Runway an opportunity to exponentially grow its physical footprint. As the years go by and the retail apocalypse continues to eat our beloved bricks and mortar stores, department stores should start to leverage the presence of these popular resale platforms to get more people in the door where they can be more easily converted into customers. Good tie-up like this.
Yeah, this is cool. Nordstrom Rack is great.
Yeah, I bought some good stuff with Nordstrom Rack.
They're a little messy.
A little messy. Yeah, got kind of a Ross feel to it sometimes, but, you know.
But she's good. She's high class Ross, and I like her.
Yeah, I go to the one in Center City.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's always a line, and it's always a mess, but the stuff's great, and prices are good. So I think this is great for both parties.
But the one in Center City, the stairs are so steep. I like crawl on my hands and knees.
I think it was an old bank or something, that location.
Yeah. I'm like,
But anyway, this is great because now you're getting these channels to move all this clothing through. And there's a certain type of person that doesn't mind buying something that is, from last season, if you know what I mean. And
right.
As we see re-commerce growing and growing, this only makes more sense all around.
Yeah, like we just talked about the Glossier, that's like strictly D2C, bringing their perfumes to department stores just to get foot traffic, obviously, too. So we've been seeing a lot of this over the past few months. Nice little collab. And
Macy's also began selling secondhand clothing in 40 stores last August through a partnership with ThredUp. So, and what we have Latote, right? Latote. Yeah. What's their deal?
They bought Lord & Taylor last year.
They bought Lord & Taylor, but what? So
just like Rent the Runway, they do.
Yeah, refresh me on Latote. I'm not too familiar with them, except for the podcast we did on them.
Oh, Latote's like essentially the same thing as Rent the Runway, right?
Okay, gotcha.
Pretty much same business model.
I forgot.
It's been a while. But yeah, they're doing the same like pickup, drop-off integrations at Lord & Taylor that Rent the Runway is doing to Nordstrom. So everyone's getting on the train.
Do we still have Rent the Runway in the WeWorks? Is that still a thing, or was that a flash in the pan? Or am I thinking
It's a
something
flash in the pan, sir.
Flash in the pan. Goodbye.
Well, it was across. So it was actually across the street from us when we were at Barrack.
That's right.
Also, though, like, lest we forget, Rent the Runway has been controversial over the past couple months too, like when they stopped subscription. So it's like when I was like reading about all this, I was like, Rent the Runway is constantly in the news doing new things, but it seems like are having a hard time sometimes keeping up with their fulfillment. I'm like, how are they going to take on all of these like new partnerships and whatnot?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was just maybe growth pains, and they did address it head on. I have to give them credit there.
Yeah.
They addressed it head on. And it seems from what I read that those things have been ironed out. And listen, these kind of tie-ups and things are the only way that they're going to grow and diversify, because we all know that anything with subscription or anything like that, it's very cyclical. It's very it's like something like D2C stuff. You have to be careful because it's like you're on top 1 minute and then the next minute you're getting bought or acquired or something like that.
Yeah, and then things change.
People change.
People
change.
The memories will remain, but
the memories remain.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I also noted that LA is Rent the Runway's fourth largest market, so also makes sense that that's where they're targeting physical stores too.
I'm gonna guess that NYC is 1. What is 2 and 3? Do you know?
I think maybe there's more than one in both of these places.
Yeah, it could be.
Let me live Google.
Live Googling.
John, were you pretending to live Google
Yes,
this?
I was.
Okay, so we got San Francisco. We got another San Francisco. Oh, we got
Chicago.
We got New York. Oh, and DC.
And DC. Okay, good.
Hey, girly.
Makes sense. Okay. Not much to say in this one, so we're going to wrap it up with a little stat time. According to ThreadUp, which conducted research in partnership with retail analytics firm Global Data, the resale market, worth $24 billion with a B today, is expected to hit $51 billion by 2023, growing 21 times faster than traditional retail over the past 3 years. So, the resale commerce, what do we call it? Re-commerce?
Re-commerce?
Yep.
Re-commerce. The re-commerce business is firing up.
Yeah,
ThreadUp's report noted that 74% of 18 to 29-year-olds prefer to buy from environmentally conscious brands and retailers, adding that buying one used item alone reduces its carbon footprint by 82%. Great stat there. While resale still makes up only a portion of the average American shopper's wardrobe, ThreadUp expects that 6% share to expand to 13% in 10 years, on track to make up a third of closets by 2033. And finally, pre-owned luxury items are particularly popular with younger shoppers. They traditionally lack the funds, but have the desire to buy the high-end products and often want things that won't harm the planet. In particular, the survey found 71% of consumers were purchasing items they could not afford to buy firsthand, with 62% saying they were buying from that brand for the first time. And of that 62%, almost all said they would buy from that brand again. That's according to Footwear News. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right, it's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at SUMO Heavy.